Jersey, late 1971, 2 years after Python first premiered. We are on this lovely island getting ready to shoot something that looks rather epic and magnificent for Python. It's the Dennis Moore Highwayman sketch where John Cleese's Dennis Moore robs the rich to give to the poor, but gives the poor only lupins. And they say, no more lupins, please. And there's the coach with Eric, I think is one of the ones on top, moving down the pathway. We'd chosen Jersey because getting out from London was always quite difficult. It took a long time driving, long time sort of on busy roads, whereas if we went to Jersey it was quite quiet, it had some lovely locations and we could shoot an awful lot. There's Rick, the cameraman. I remember shooting with Rick on a boat in New Haven Harbour when we were a Python sketch about people being ready for tea and jumping into the water, and it was very, very choppy and Rick was quite seasick, but he manfully carried on filming, and every minute he sort of threw up and then went back to the camera. So he earned his stripes there. Roger Last there. Vanessa, and here's the man, here's Cleese, who is giving lines off. I think he's not yet going to be that's his stand-in. John, I don't think, was adept as a horseman and didn't need to be here, so there's just checking his position. As Alan Featherstone on the right, who was on camera, telling John how much room he has when his horse comes along or whatever. Meanwhile, the coach waits with all the people on board, as ever. Filming takes so long, and in the end, everyone involved. Thank you, George. Thank you, Alan. Decides it's more fun to play to my camera than theirs. And here is John stand-in. Right, action. The coach moves in. This would have been, though Eric, I think, is up there on riding post, but next to him is the man actually controlling the horses, and they haven't got very far. Oh, hands up, yes. This is what happens when the highwayman comes out. Right. Got that sorted, thank you very much. Must have been late autumn, actually, there, because no leaves on the trees, so I think probably it's maybe November 1971. I should know, it should be in my diary, but there's Eric getting down. It should be in my diary, but there was one volume of my diaries comprising about 3 months that were thrown away by my son, Will, who was then about 8 months old. I think he dropped it in the bin with great foresight. So, getting ready for a second take. There's the highwayman's going to be in the foreground, and the camera team get ready, the wardrobe team. Seem to have very little to do. Everyone's got dressed early on. There's Rosemary, who was our script lady, very, very important. That's a rather anxious-looking man in a car. Perhaps, sorry, you won't be able to get past for another week, I'm afraid. A crane, BBC then lashing out. I don't think that was the only time Python ever used a crane. Here they come again. There's Maggie Gilliam on the left. And this is the makeup. I've just been finishing their last-minute checks, having a little natter. Maggie realises the camera's in front of her. Oh, Maggie, come on, don't be shy. And there's Hazel Pethick. That's not Hazel Pethick. That's one of the lighting boys. So this is what Python was like. A few bemused locals. Eric being jolly as he can. Lights being moved in now. It's quite extraordinary nowadays. The lights will be so minimal. You probably wouldn't need them at all because the camera could adapt. But then great big sort of floodlights in the middle of the countryside. Arc lights. Ron Blight on sound. There he is, getting the sound. Eric quite carefully reading. There's Ian McNaughton next to him. Ian McNaughton was the director of the Python TV shows, and he'd obviously given himself a part here. He loved dressing up. He was an actor, so we might see Ian again. Sadly no longer with us, but obviously hugely important on the Python shows. There's Ian as director, checking on the script and what's what. A nice beard and little tricorn hat. I think that's Graham Chapman. Yes. Graham's wondering what he's doing. And we're all wondering what we're doing. Laughter and fun. Ron Blight, John Hills Harrop, who was his assistant. Ian McNaughton taking his trousers off, and much jollity. Rosemary was the only one who ever really knew what was going on. That's a very nice abstract shot of the lamps going up. Surely there is Carol Cleveland, I think, in there, out of focus, but we might see her a bit later on. Yeah. Graham and John looking at the morning paper. Oh, it's a map of the island, I think. No, how do we get out of here? Someone else reading a map of the island. That's our designer. There's Jersey, really halfway between sort of rural France and rural England. And there's the boom. There must be lines here. I can't remember there being many lines apart from stand and deliver. And there we are, driving home at the end of the day. Someone must be filming this, because that's my hugely hirsute head. Didn't cut our hair in those days. Oh, no. Not like Samson, we had to keep our hair on. That's Graham's friend, yeah. And there we all are, yes, taking a bit of a rest after a hard day's work. Ian McNaughton and EK. Extraordinary, these people are entrusted with Python filming. There's Hazel Pethick, who does our costume. And this is, I think, a part of the bicycling tour. And they end up and he faces Mr. Pither. Has to face a firing squad, so I think that's getting the firing squad sorted out. As usual with Python filming, a lot of laughter. Oh yes, they've got to laugh a lot, so it's telling them what to do. Thank you, Alan Featherston. It does bring out the best in people, the camera.